Okay, so, this is one of those mysteries that never seems to get old, right? Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? We're talking about the creator of Bitcoin.
Right.
And, you've sent us some seriously interesting articles about it, so we gotta dive into this.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how, after all this time, the mystery persists. I mean, this is someone who basically flipped the script on finance and then poof, gone without a trace, really.
Mhm.
It's digital Houdini stuff.
It really is. Like, imagine the world's most successful disappearing act, but with code. And the craziest part is we don't even know if Satoshi Nakamoto is a single person. Could be a whole group, right?
Absolutely, yeah. For all we know, it could be a secret society of coders working out of a bunker somewhere.
Right. I mean, I even saw that HBO documentary, the one I mean. The one
Yeah.
that was pointing the finger at Peter Todd.
Oh, right, right. That caused quite a stir. For those unfamiliar, Peter Todd is, well, he's a bit of a rock star in the Bitcoin universe.
Yeah.
A developer cryptographer, which basically means he speaks the language of code that keeps your digital money safe. One of the first believers in Bitcoin, really.
Yeah. And wasn't he actually in those early forums, like going back and forth with Satoshi himself?
Oh, absolutely. Back in 2010, you could find them on Reddit, deep in these really technical threads. Like, seriously, you needed a computer science degree just to follow along.
Mm.
But even with all that, Todd's always maintained he's not Satoshi.
Right, right. So it's still anyone's guess, really. But okay, so say just for a second that we could unmask this mystery person or people. What then? Like, why does it even matter?
Well, this is where it gets really fascinating, especially for someone like you who, lives and breathes this world of financial tech. See, it's rumored that Satoshi owns a ton of Bitcoin, like a million Bitcoins.
Wait, a million?
Yeah.
Seriously? Seriously. Now imagine for a second those headlines. Satoshi Nakamoto just moved $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. You think the market would notice?
I mean, that would be huge.
Huge is an understatement. It could be an earthquake. It'd be like if the anonymous creator of the internet suddenly reappeared and started cashing in their stock options. Talk about market chaos.
Okay, yeah, that puts it into perspective. So yeah, finding out who Satoshi is, it's not just about scratching that curiosity itch. It could have massive ripple effects. But, flipping the crypt again, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't really matter.
Right. That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? And the articles you sent, they really lay out both sides of the argument. One of the big ones is this idea that Satoshi's anonymity actually like protects Bitcoin. No single leader, no central point of failure, just pure decentralized technology, which, as you know, is kind of the whole point in the beginning.
It's that whole, like, Wild West of finance thing. No sheriff in town. Precisely. And it also helps keep the focus where it should be, on the tech itself, not on some kind of, cult of personality around the creator. Remember the early days of the internet, that spirit of anonymity, that sense of a digital frontier. There are definitely some parallels there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I can see that. But then there's that other part of me, the one that, loves a good mystery novel that can't help but wonder, who is this person or people? What's their story? What were they thinking when they created Bitcoin? It's fascinating to think about.
Of course, of course. We're hardwired for that. We're drawn to origin stories. It's like there's this missing piece of the puzzle. And it all ties into that age-old debate about how we even understand history. What's called the great man theory. Like, does knowing who Satoshi is actually change anything about how Bitcoin works or how we use it? It's a fascinating question with honestly no easy answers.
So here we are, this incredible world-changing technology just, appears out of nowhere, and its creator is, well, a ghost.
Right? A phantom, a shadow. And, maybe that's for the best, because even though we may never know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, what they created is very much alive and kicking. We've got this whole universe of cryptocurrencies now, the rise of blockchain, all these trends that, as I recall, you find pretty fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing to see how it's all evolved. So maybe, just maybe, the real legacy of Satoshi Nakamoto isn't about a name or a face, but about what they set in motion.
Right. And that leads us to, well, a final thought, something to ponder. We live in this world of constant surveillance, right? Our every digital move is tracked, analyzed. So in this kind of environment, does Satoshi's anonymity take on a whole new meaning? Is it a powerful reminder that true privacy in the digital age is still possible?
Yeah.
Or does their absence actually make Bitcoin more vulnerable because it doesn't have that clear leader, that voice, as it faces more and more regulation and tries to find its place in the mainstream? It's a question worth considering.